Hey YouTube, welcome back to the channel. Come catch up with me. So all I'm doing today, I've got my cup of coffee because it's still pretty early in the morning, and I will be sipping that as we go. But basically, I wanted to take some time to catch up with you guys and just tell you what's been going on with me. So, in the past few days, I've been trying to post a lot of videos from what I'm calling my backlog because I have been filming throughout December, but I haven't posted anything up until this week since I think my Thanksgiving vlog. So, December was a crazy busy month. It always is for teachers, but I just wanted to kind of fill you in on what's been going on, both at school and at home, and just why I haven't been doing any of my videos specifically, because some stuff's been going on. Some good, some less than good, and some, to quote the classic quote, "it is what it is," has happened. So I'm going to do this video in parts. First of all, I will talk about school and kind of do a school life update. And then I will talk about personal family life and stuff like that. And I've got notes because I'm going to try and cover a whole month and catch you guys up. I did try to vlog some throughout December, so there will be some clips of some things that were actually happening live, but sorry, there's the dust. Anyway, let me just start with this. Okay. The first week of December, so the week we came back from Thanksgiving break, we had testing for our winter diagnostic with the kids. And what it was very much like leap days at the beginning of the year, where each day 5 different students came in and we did their reading progress test and their math progress test. So it was all day testing, and usually these tests are done on 2 different days, but we did one in the morning, one in the afternoon. And that was crazy, insane, and busy. And of course, since some of these students we haven't seen since the first week of school when we met them, it was super emotional for all of us. It was really interesting to watch the ones who haven't been at school learn how to play again at recess. Even though it was social distance, you could tell they were unsure of what they were supposed to do, and that hurt my heart a little bit. But testing happened that first week, and it was just crazy because also the ones who were behind time they were done testing, we were trying to get them caught up for the year. Just so much packed into one day. And then I've been doing the after school program too, so then I was coming home just exhausted every single day. So that's that. Let me see what else. Oh, the following week on December 8th, there was we did our first quarter virtual award ceremony, and that was long because we did it live, streaming through Facebook and YouTube at the same time and all of that, and we just had to pop in and say our piece while someone else was running the slideshow and all of that. So that was something we didn't get done until close to 7 at night, and then we had a debrief after since it was our first one, and oh my goodness, it was just so long. I do have a little clip from that and I'll insert it now. Okay, I will do more to catch you guys up later, but we just finished our virtual awards ceremony, and oh my gosh, I'm exhausted. It was so intense. It turned out good, but so intense. So that was all within just the first week and a half of December, and it was crazy. And like I said, it was emotional. We were looking at the data. I've had to remind myself that the winter data we just took usually would be done after 2 quarters and would be a half year's worth of growth. And this time it was just right after the first quarter because of the way our schedule worked out. So I can't be too hard on myself that the kids haven't grown as much as I would like to have seen. But at the same time, the victories that have happened are so great. And I want to make sure I acknowledge that too. So there's that. It's just happened. The last week before Christmas break, which was the 20... No. sorry, I was about to tell you wrong. The 14th through the 18th, so that the next week, and keep in mind I'm still doing the after school too, which is virtual every day. It was a lot of things happening in that week because it was the last full week that we would be physically in the school, right? So we first of all, it was like a dress up week where we had one day was holiday sock day, holiday hat day, dress up day, wear red day, all of that, and I'll do some pictures and clips from that in a second. But that Monday, we found out we were going to be down a teacher. The science teacher from my group is going into a different career path. So that is happening. It is the end of the day, and I just got back from work, so forgive the hair and general, post-schoolness. But last night, and I didn't vlog about it last night because just too much was going on and I had plans, so I had other things to do. But anyway, so we found out yesterday one of my teammates is going to be leaving, so the science teacher on my team is going to be going, and she won't be back after Christmas break, so we just found that out. Also, we got a letter today saying that we have been exposed to a student who has had COVID, and we are to monitor symptoms over the next few days, so that's fun. Let me qualify that so it sounds better. The letter also said that, we've been practicing social distancing, we've been masking, we've been washing hands, we've been cleaning desks and shared spaces and all the blah, 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 blah. We've been doing all the things, okay? So they don't expect that just because they found out that this student got tested, obviously their parents pulled them out because we've had several students that haven't been there for days from different families and different grade levels since the Thanksgiving holiday. So we know we've narrowed it down to a few of who it could be, but we just don't know. But they haven't been there since the beginning of whenever I guess their symptoms started, and they got tested right away, and we just now got the results back. So they don't expect that it spread to any of us, but they still want us to be mindful in case we have any symptoms and need to take time off to get tested too. So that is a thing. And as you can see, along with that, we also had a possible exposure. One of the students who was on campus in person tested positive. And like I said, time anyone's shown any symptoms, they've been pulled out, and several families with possible exposures had already had their kids not coming to school. So we don't know if the student who is an on-campus student who tested positive, if we even had contact with him or her in person before that or not. We don't know if they were already positive when we were exposed to them or not, because they'd been pulled out so long before we got anything back. And several students the parents were very responsible. Time they were exposed to anything, they just had their kids come on virtual instead of coming back in person. So we got a letter stating that, there was possible exposure and to just be aware, and you've seen those clips. Obviously, I wasn't very happy when I first heard that, but that's because so many of our students had been pulled out that we weren't sure. We couldn't determine which one, what classroom, all of that kind of thing, what was our actual own personal risk. And that was just because, the letter didn't say names, but we had several students who'd been pulled out, so we don't know if and when we could have had possible exposure. So I was frustrated from the finding out we're going to be down a teacher plus this other information. So that happened. And so that was the rest of that week. You've seen those clips. And then by that Friday, on that Friday, we found out that we were going to winter break. January 4th is our report back date for school. We found out for the first 2 weeks. we're going to stay virtual until after Martin Luther King Day in January. And I think they're doing that just to have, since it's been the holidays, just kind of do like a universal 2-week quarantine before coming back to campus, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it was just, we found out less than 2 hours before dismissal. And so then we were having to try to coordinate real quick about all of our in-person students. What all are they going to need to take home? Do they really take things home for just the 2 weeks? Or what happens if we stay shut down longer? Do they need to take more things? And the kids didn't know, so we just didn't want to announce it like, hey, you guys aren't going to be back for a month, because then we would have lost, control of what was happening in the room. So there was a lot of confusion and shuffle right there at the end. And then the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd, right before Christmas, were virtual days, but they were catch-up days for students with missing work. So I just sat on Zoom almost all day, basically, except for my lunch break, just waiting on students to pop in and help them with missing work. So those were just long days of just sitting in a chair. So there's that. School has been basically just like a lot of stuff going on, and that's been pretty rough. But just for transition's sake, I will go ahead and put in a picture of me on the dress up day, and that can be our little transition from school to happy Christmas time. So I forgot to mention that one of the other frustrations that last week before we left the school was on one of the days, I think it was the Wednesday, we were down by 2 teachers, so it was just me and one other teacher, and we had all 3 of the in-person classes divided between the 2 of us, which, keep in mind, we only have a few kids in each class, so it's not a lot of students. We were still able to maintain the social distancing and all of that, but keeping multiple grade levels on their schedule at the same time, zooming in to teach our own classes while we're watching other students not in the class that we're teaching, it made it a very, very long day. And of course, it's not the other teachers who weren't there's fault. It was just people had things happen at the same time and they couldn't be there, and so it just fell on me and one of my other teammates, and it was something. But here's the clip from that. I forgot to put it in. Okay, so couple things. It was hat day at school, so that is why the hat is happening. Second, our team of 4 teachers was down by 2 today, and we had to divide up the kids and just keep calm and carry on, as they say. So it's been a day. You see the lights in the background? Hopefully by the time you're seeing this, you will have seen my walkthrough video of the lights in the background. They bring me joy. Anyway, it's been a day. And it's just now 5:30 and I'm getting in because I did the after school program, and oh my gosh, I'm tired. And now I will put back in the picture to end this and transition to the holiday season. And remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, ring the bell, do all the things, and stay tuned for part 2. I've decided to make part 2 a separate video because this was getting a little long. And so long from the little greenhouse.